Trent, could we just get your initial thoughts on a pretty comprehensive win?
Yeah, I thought we approached the game in our style well. I thought we adapted to what they wanted to do well, which sort of gave us sort of good defensive stability there, which allowed us sort of time to pick up our opportunities when they came. So, we just put together a good game there.
Do you feel like you're finding your style and consistency of that style at the right time of the year? 'Cause that's three pretty comprehensive wins in a row.
Yeah, I said, you can all sort of talk about it in the pre-season and decide on what your style is, but you've got to play it and live it a bit more. And so we had to rediscover that. We knew what we wanted to be, but you have to play that. And we've been taking our time to do that over the course of the season. We've been talking about it, and we've decided on how we want to play. And we're going about playing that at the moment. If there's anything to pick up, we'll pick up in a few months' time again. But at the moment, we've decided on how we're going to play, and it's been a good couple of weeks on that.
Never just about one guy, but Nafahu White tonight felt like a really huge performance in a really huge year for him. Can you just talk about what he's sort of been able to do this year and what he did tonight?
Yeah, I think, I thought it was, to be honest, I thought it was really good across the board. I feel like the system tonight, you can have good individual performance, but I thought the system of play that these guys wanted to play pulled them apart. And then Fahu has also been leading the way a lot in that. And also, decided to start the big middles. They're all different in Lindsay, Spencer and Fahu. But someone's got to do the time, that length of time, and Fahu's the one that Lindsay's been able to do it, but Fahu also to play time, but also it's not just about being out there, it's having an impact and doing your job. And it's been impressive, been really impressive.
You mentioned the word leadership there from Fahu. Is he someone you saw that in when you first got a look at him at the club, or have you seen a leadership quality emerge in him of late?
Yeah, front rowers, you want to leave time to develop. He was captain of his school, so we knew that as we recruited him and brought him over, but it was also, he doesn't overspeak. He says what he thinks, but he doesn't overspeak, so we've left time for that, but he's definitely developed into that naturally this year.
And Ted, what's that like for you? Obviously, Jared was such an immense figure at this club, but of all people, Fahu seems to be the one who, when a tough carry is needed by a front rower, he's the one who's pushing up there in the ruck.
Yeah, he's been here for a while since he first came as a young kid. I really felt this year he's just grown and matured as a person, as a player, and he's really turned into a leader. You see how he goes about his business week in, week out. He prepares so well, and those performances aren't really surprising, to be honest, because he's been doing that all year for us. And Robbo said it's not just nice carries, it's those little things are off the ball that he's really worked hard on, and he's just becoming one of the best front rowers in the game. But like Robbo said, Spence and Linz, those three are leading the way for us, and they've been awesome.
Robbo, Daniel Tupou overtook Beaver on the all-time try scoring list. How has he managed to, stay at the top of his game, and it seems like he just keeps getting better?
Yeah, we're all cheerleaders for Tupes, more so than himself. It's they had a pretty clear game plan to stop Tupes tonight, so it's not only just putting the ball down over the line, it's it was pretty tight there. Both teams were defending well, and Tupes had to work hard for both those first two tries. They had a defensive system that they wanted to play on him, and he had to work that out and adapt around it, and he did. And that's the quality of a winger as well. He's good in the air, but I thought he did really, really well in that. And then also to combine that with the backfield carries, to take over another humble legend in Beaver and pass it on to Tupes to go into fourth. It's it's a pretty nice bloke to take over. I think I was lucky enough to coach Beaver, and the old back row has gone back to fifth, but he'll be happy for Tupes. I know that.
Did you share any special words about Tupou and his career in the Sheds? Was there anything special to kind of commemorate the moment?
Yeah, we just celebrated the fact of him going in the fourth, and also just the way he does it. You know, the art of his craft that he gets to put into practice. Yeah, I think he's one of the best wingers of all time, and he's certainly the best Polynesian winger. I think he's really led the way there, and he's the sort of the first guy. I know Xavier Coates is doing a really, really good job on that, but I think Toops has been the first guy that's really owned the air in this game for over a decade. I think he's the one that sort of led the way. I don't even know, how many high ball catches. You know, I think it have to be number one in obviously being fourth, but he has changed the shape of defence as far as the way that the high ball catch. He'd have more high ball catches than any other person in the game by an absolute mile. And so, yeah, he always seems like he's sitting behind somebody, but I know he's definitely at the front of that queue when it comes to that part of the game.
Trent Billy Smith on report there in the first half of that sort of cannonball or legs tackle, I guess. Did you have a view on that incident?
Yeah, I thought he hit his ass, to be honest. That's pretty simply, I think point of contact was really high, so.
Don't expect anything in the charge sheet then?
Yeah, I wouldn't expect, not on point of contact from what I saw, Thanks.